Section C. Now this is an important thing for SEO you have to do, and then the rest of the sections are going to talk about what I referenced. This is a quick SEO thing to touch on. We're about to get to the important part of how do we put custom widgets here that speak to the subcategories, and how do we organize these blog postings to maybe highlight your favorite ones in a second. But before that, we have an SEO issue you have to address. Alright? One of the biggest reasons real estate agents' websites fail on WordPress is because duplicate content exists. And first, let me explain what is duplicate content. Well, here's a simple example. See how I'm on a seller's page, right? Or we're on the seller's concierge archive, right? Well, let's see. Look at these blog postings. Are you still advertising the paper? You know, prepare for a Pepperwood, or prepare for more short sales and all that stuff. Well, notice that these have common blog posts as the rest of the subcategories. So here, I'm going to open up the subcategories. Notice that there's duplicate content on these postings, meaning my seller, the default seller's concierge page lists all the postings from the subcategories of how we market your home for sale. Although how we market your home for sale is only about these two posts or these three postings, not everything else. Notice that these are duplicated. Are you still advertising get our pre-listing packet? That's duplicated on the seller's page here. Are you still advertising? And then where does it get your pre-list? See, get your pre-listing packet. It's duplicated. So the whole point is you have duplicate content, and it's not a good idea for your website, especially your categories, to have duplicate content. All right. So here's what you need to do, and then let's just do further make the point. Price trends in the neighborhood. Notice how this is laser focused information on the price trends, right? But notice that these same blog postings will likely be duplicated on the seller's page. Here's the seller's page. Notice that they're duplicated here. And then here, it's all duplicated. So the whole point is you have duplicate content issues, all right? And understand the following. By default, the way we set up your website, or let me rewind. Google does not like duplicate content. They don't penalize you. That's a myth. You don't get penalized for having duplicate content, but your efforts are hindered. It's like imagine if you had to run uphill. Running uphill normal is already hard, but if you put like a 50-pound weight on your shoulder, that's going to be way harder as well. It's going to take you longer to get up that hill. Now put 100 pounds, that's going to take you longer. Now think of every bit of duplicate content that you add to your site as like putting more weight on your shoulders. It's not impossible, and you don't get penalized, and it's not impossible to still get on that first page, but the more duplicate content you have on your website, the less your efforts, the harder it's going to be for you to get to that first page, because it's that same analogy of you're running uphill. The more duplicate content is the more weight you're putting on your shoulder, and the more you're running uphill. It's not impossible, but realistically it's going to be a hard fight. So the whole point is this. With your Tizish system, the way we build your system is that your categories and your tags automatically are what's called no indexed, meaning let me click onto the buyer category here. By default, since most real estate agent websites have massive amount of categories and massive amount of tags because there's so many different subjects, but the issue that naturally creates duplicate content, as I showed you in these examples with the sellers and the subcategories, by default, all of your categories and tags are this feature. See where it says robot meta tags, no index? When this has a check mark on showing on no index, that means that your website, this category, does not appear in Google search engines, which means this does not count as duplicate content. Alright, and all of your categories are built this way. By default, they're no indexed, meaning you're telling Google, don't save this page in your search engines, and therefore you're telling Google, this is not going to be duplicate content for my website. But here's the thing now. Here's the little conundrum you're in. If you have your concierge pages like sellers, for instance, your main concierge page of sellers, not the subcategories such as how we market your home for sale or stuff like that, then the question is, how the heck do you get people finding your seller's page in the search engine? Well, it's simple. You have to no index. You have to uncheck this feature in your page for this specific category to tell Google and tell your website that this is the page you want to have indexed. Alright, so here, let me show you what I mean. If we're here, let's go to the actual seller category since we're doing that one as the example. We have sellers, your main category, and then you have 3 subcategories. What you want to do is the following, and this is what I explained in the lesson outline. Use no index for the unknown index. undo no index for the primary parent category you are using. Here's what I mean by this point. By undo no index for the primary parent category you're using, what I mean is sellers. This is the primary parent category because these are all the child categories, or they could be referred to as subcategories. What you want to do is keep these blocked as duplicate content in the eyes of Google, because technically, see how this here is three blog postings, and 3 blog postings? Well, they're all 9 blog postings in the sellers one. So what you instead want is your sellers page. You want this sellers page to be the one that Google sees, not these. Okay, and I know you might be tempted, no, but this is important, this is important. Well, don't. I'm telling you right now, the way the search engines work, undo the no index for your main parent only. So what you're going to do is the following. Go into your main parent category, so we'll do the sellers as the example, and then simply scroll down to the section of your site that has robot meta tags. See where it says no index? Uncheck this one. That's all you have to do. After you uncheck it, update the page. Now you're going to do that exact same process only for the parent categories, meaning parent categories mean the main category. Buyers, that's your parent category. Not deal of the month, not first time home buyers, not investors. These are subcategories. Keep these blocked by Google. Buyers is the main one because the same content exists here anyhow. Cities, this is the main one, not your subcategories. How's the market? This is your main one, not your subcategories. So the whole point is go through all of your categories and undo the no index as you just saw me doing only for the parents. Okay, that's what that meant for this point number C. It's very important because this is a massive SEO thing. And then on the next week's lessons, when we talk about keyword usage and everything, we're going to talk about how to come back into your parent categories and optimize them for keyword usage for your cities and everything. Alright, but for now, keep it just like that. Now the next part.